We're live. No doubt I'm going to come back to this later and people are going to say, actually, Mel, the sound wasn't working or something like that. Anyway, cheers. Okay, why are we here? Because been having lots and lots of chats with people about wheels. So I've got a few different types of wheels from the wheel library to just have a roll about with, and hopefully it's going to give you a bit of an idea of how they feel even if they're not on your feet. I thought I'd start with what's actually on my skates first of all. Hope everyone is having a very delightful evening tonight. Done some skating today, some is some. So this is my boot, my favorite boot. It is like, it's getting on a bit now, this boot, but we still love her. So I've got a Moxie Jack 1, which I am sad they are discontinuing, but you know, people have to move on. We've got an Arius plate on it that has been painted. Mine actually are mismatching. I did used to have mismatching laces as well. I've currently got a toe plug in, and these are the Complex Ghibli 57mm 88A wheels. And just to kind of be fair, I thought I would do the same movement with each set of wheels so that you can actually see what happens and how I move, even though you're not me. It's fine, you'll be fine. Cheers. Okay, so skates on again. Right, you'll notice as well that I have got mismatching socks on. It's okay, we don't mind. What is hopefully important is that you'll actually be able to hear me even when I'm not right next to the camera. Okay, so starting with the Ghibli wheels, I have to say these are my all-time favourite wheels, and they are just a wheel that I really enjoy. I like to know that the ground is going to remain under my feet exactly as I want it to feel. So it is important for me to have a kind of grippier wheel. Probably as well, you can't hear too much of the music in the background. And I'm okay with that. So the thing that's going to take the longest tonight is going to be the lacing on and off of my boots. But it's okay. We'll move around as required. So what I thought I would do is the same set of movements each time, just to try and keep things as like standardized a test as possible. Let's move you down a wee bit. So we've got, what I've got is, if I'm going to do a downtown, I mean, I know exactly how these feel, so the answer is delightful. And because I know these wheels really well, I know where to put my weight in them. I know how they're going to slide across the floor. And especially every floor behaves differently. But on this floor, I know exactly how they're going to behave. And this is, by all accounts, quite a slidey floor. I've just got used to it now. So I do know that as an 88A wheel, which is the Complex Ghibli lilac wheels at 88A, I do know that on this floor, this is quite smooth. Like, I wouldn't normally expect to be able to push my weight like this on a lot of floors. But as I say, I know how this feels. I know how these wheels on this floor, I understand that combination really well. So my intention is to start with a wheel I know, and if you were to come and visit the Skate Sanctuary and say, Mel, I want to try some wheels from the wheel library, or anyone else that was here, we'd go, yeah, awesome. Then what we want you to do is, first of all, use your wheels in this space so that you have got a baseline or a benchmark of how your wheels feel, and then you can understand how what you change will feel different. So the second thing that I wanted to test was a toe spin and some crazy legs. So the crazy legs, you know, you need to be able to balance on your toes, and on these wheels, I find balancing on my toes is fine. Not a problem on these wheels. There's a lot of flip-flapping at the door. I think we've got like a little hatch in one of the windows. Anyway, so no problem. Toe balancing, toe skating. No problem with a crazy leg, apart from the fact that the music's gone a wee bit slow at the moment. So I'm just going to turn it up a bit. I've got a DJ mix on. Smooth. 6, 7, 2, 4. Yep, fine. Toe spin, push, push. Right. I've not long had my tea, so maybe now is not the time to do toe spins. Yep, maybe now's not the time. Oh, Lord. Okay, try again. Always saying to people when we do spins, make sure you land the spin. And what did I not do? I did not bend my knees. So, okay. Maybe I don't really like spinning, so I should take it off the list. Maybe I should just do my footwork drill instead. My footwork drill is like more favorite thing to do. T-stops. Just, I'm trying to think of something that's got a bit of slide. Yeah, maybe a T-stop. Ballroom movement. So, ballroom, stop, back, stop, forward, stop, and back. Stop, forward, stop, stop, forward, stop, and back. Stop. All right. So, as I say, I know the complex Ghibli wheel really, really well, but I still think it's important for the purpose of this video just to have that benchmark so we know how it feels. And do you know what? I love this wheel, so I could happily stay in this wheel all night, but I'm gonna swap it out now for something different. Okay, we're just gonna sit on the floor and have a chat about what is next. Okay, so in terms of other wheels, I've got packets of wheels out of the wheel library, and the easiest way to change wheels is always going to be to take your skates off. It is just a little bit labor intensive. And I know, because I have the discussions with people most days, and today was no exception, that there is this belief that a harder wheel equals you are a better skater. So I believe that a harder wheel can be used by a more experienced skater, but that having a harder wheel on your skates won't necessarily make you better. Okay, they're not magic wheels. So the other wheels that I've chosen in this collection, and I'm like, maybe I'm going to go firmer. I've got complex Tango wheels, which I think I will put on next because these are the softest ones that I've got. So these are a much larger wheel. They are 63mm wheel compared to the complex Ghibli, and often when people dance they have a smaller wheel because it's just easier to maintain control on the spot with a smaller wheel. So I'm just gonna whip these wheels off my plate. I was totally looking for my electric drill bit because that would have made switching the wheels out so much easier, but the battery was not charged up, so it is not happening this evening. Okay, that's one skate done. Anyway, I feel like I'm fairly quick to change wheels. So this is my complex Tango. This is my complex Ghibli, right? They are like that one fits inside that one. So it's a little bit bigger, 57mm, 63mm, okay? I'm trying to not hold them one in front of the other to make a fair comparison. But I have worn these ones before. I wore them in a sports hall, and when we did the speed skate, I was flying around the sports hall. It was really good fun, but I haven't massively worn them for a roller dance class, so I'm not fully certain how they feel on the spot. Let's see. Okay, let's make sure that these are rolling nicely. So this is the colour that they start. The 88A starts this really nice lilac colour, and then they kind of fade a little bit. Most wheels do, and the decals on the front of the wheel, like the print on it rubs off. It's still printed on the back, but it does tend to rub off the front, and that's pretty normal. Let's put this last wheel nut on this one. So I'm fitting these wheels on my Arius plate, which I've just noticed has got a very loose. It's very loose. That should not look like that. So before I put these skates back on, I will be going and getting an Allen key and sorting that right out, because that is the truck coming out. That should not look like that. I did actually start filming parts of this video differently so that I could make a video and edit it together, which would involve less wittering than this live, because let's be honest, you can chop this out, can't you, in the edit? But obviously in a live video you've got to deal with me switching out the wheels, which is something that I would obviously cut out in a live. So let's pop these wheels on. Yeah, I think probably if I put this together in an actual video, or maybe at the end I can edit out the live, this whole thing will end up being about 10 minutes long. It is literally the wheel changing that's going to take so long. Lovely. And of course I've chosen to do it at a time when there's no one around who could possibly assist with switching out the wheels. Such is life. At some point I will pre-plan when I'm going to do live videos, and then I can tell people. That would maybe be more useful, but for now this is where we are. Right, so I've now put on my Tango wheels. I'm happy that they're rolling properly. What I'm not happy about is my kingpin. So what I'm using, this is a packet of wheels from what we call our wheel library, which is like a community resource that we've created for skaters to come and try wheels before buying them, because buying like £100 worth of wheels really sucks when you get them on and realize that you don't like them. Okay, let's get my Allen key. Okay, here we go. So the Arius plate doesn't have trucks in the traditional sense. It just has these kingpins. Why this is so loose, I've got no idea. Which just goes to show skate maintenance is for everyone. Come on, you pesky little thing. It's just stiff, that's all. Also, because this plate was powder coated and we had to make sure that these parts like weren't covered by paint or the threads and things, because then I obviously can't screw it back together, which is a problem. Anyway, it is going in, it's just fiddly. Oh, always nice to skate on safe skates. Hurrah, there we go. Great. So secure. Okay. Right. Like, the whole point of this plate is that you don't need to adjust the kingpin at all. You do it through the butterfly cushion, and that means you're never worrying about how many clicks to turn the kingpin or anything like that. It's literally, is the butterfly cushion the right hardness or softness for what you're trying to achieve in your movement? And generally speaking, faster skaters, more aggressive skaters, or skaters with bigger bodies prefer firmer cushions, and skaters with a smaller mass, like small people or who are doing very light things and don't require a lot of like maybe stability, or they're not being super aggressive, are able to use softer cushions. If you're aggressive in your style and you use a soft cushion, then your plate will do this. Your trucks will, you can get like, basically you can end up with wheel bite. So not fun. Right. I've got my Complex Tango wheels on. So let us go back up to this height. And let's see how, I already feel taller. That's wild, because it's really not, they're not super high. They're like, there's literally millimeters. Yeah, crazy. They instantly just feel faster. I mean, they're a really fun wheel. Let's go down. Okay, so what were the things I was going to work on? My 3 things were going to be downtown, crazy legs or dribbles, and like spinning, testing wheels for roller dance. Okay, and 4. So that's wild. They like roll so much further with the same amount of effort. So I can afford to be a lot more economical with movement, as in I can make smaller movements and my foot is traveling the same amount. If I make the same amount of movement that I was with my small giggly wheels. My foot's like pumping all over the place. At least it feels like it is. Okay, shall we see with the crazy legs? Oh, sorry, just give my legs a little break because there's been some skating happening today. Okay, and push. Oh, that's bizarre. It feels really awkward. I don't know if it's in my head or it does feel awkward. So I do tell people that it's harder to get the balance point on your toes on a bigger wheel because you're going to like roll off it. Like I can hold balance on my toes if I'm not trying to also change the direction. If I'm just going forward, no problem. But a crazy leg's actually quite tricky on this size wheel. Woo! Like I'd like to think I'm doing it, but I don't think it looks as smooth as the smaller wheel. It doesn't feel as smooth. So I've chosen to put this wheel on just because that felt okay. Just because I'm used to this hardness. It's an 88A, but I'm not used to the size. I normally wear smaller wheels. That feels quite nice as a little slingshot movement. Feels pretty good. Ah, Shannon, hi. Thanks so much for joining tonight. Appreciate your little comment. Okay, the other thing that I was going to try, which again I put it on my list. There's a little whiteboard over there and I wrote it down and I wrote toe spin and then regretted it earlier when I didn't land my toe spin particularly well. But sometimes I feel like it's quite useful for skaters who have been skating for less time to go, oh, that's actually really hard. And the people who can do it really put in the work, which I have not done. I like skating on my toes, just not round in a circle. Anyway, I do occasionally try and then I think, yeah, I can't be bothered with that. So I stopped trying. So the toe, oof, that's really hard. Okay, we shall try again. Right, so I don't like going fast. This is all not a great idea, but we'll have to do another go. Well, that's enough toe spinning. I don't think I can toe spin well enough for it to make a difference. That feels really big. So when I'm pushing, just even doing this dribble, it feels like I have to really lift my heel. Okay, coming back slowly. So as I said, the thing that is literally going to take the longest is swapping the wheels. Okay, so we've had a little go with our complex tango wheel. And next wheel. I think I will definitely need to change my axle nuts after this. So my plan was to work up in the durometer. I always have to double knot my laces. I don't know about you. No matter how long I'm going to skate for. 2 minutes. Okay. So the next wheel I'm going to test out, again, Wheel Library wheels, are the Suregrip Fame wheels, because I tell people that these are not really a true 96A wheel, because they are very much a budget-friendly wheel. Nothing wrong with that at all, but because they are, the quality of the urethane in the wheel just cannot possibly be the same quality as a more expensive wheel, like a Famous wheel or something like that. It's there's no hub in it. Show you what I mean in a moment. I'm going to try to not drop the skate tool every time I put it down. Okay, so Suregrip Fame wheel, it's already got bearings in it. It's minorly grubby, but we won't worry about that. Okay, so Suregrip Fame wheel, we're going back to a smaller size. So this Tango wheel is the largest one that I'm testing tonight, 63mm. And I can definitely say I do prefer a smaller wheel for roller dancing. So the Suregrip Fame 57mm wheel, and where you can see in the Tango wheel, where am I putting this here? The white bit is actually a different type of plastic to the outer tyre. The Suregrip Fame wheel doesn't have that. It literally just has a recess that you're putting the bearings into. So we are going to put the Fame wheels on. On you go. Love it. For some reason, a lot of the wheels in the Wheel Library are pink. Don't know why. Just is that way. There we go. If you've only just joined, welcome. I'm having a little private disco for myself where I'm sat testing out the various hardnesses of wheels for roller dance, because what I hear a lot is I need different wheels for indoors. And I will constantly say to people, you do not need different wheels for indoors. You may choose to have different wheels if you feel limited by what you can do on the wheel, but it's very hard to know when the wheel is limiting you and when it's just a question of lack of experience. Because if you've only had your new skates for a week and then you're already thinking, oh mate, I need new wheels, if they're your first pair of skates or they're your first like upgraded pair, then you probably don't. You just need to skate a bit more and get used to them. And that is not something that people want to hear, which is why recently I posted on Instagram something that I've been speaking about a lot in skate classes at the moment, and it's a message that's really been resonating with people, where you're choosing your struggle. What kind of struggle do you want in life? And I think the struggle that we choose has to feel purposeful to us, and it has to be something that we ultimately want to do, and you've got to find some joy, and otherwise you're not going to do it. So in that respect, it's like choose what you find hard. Okay, I am just changing the final wheel. So I posted on Instagram something about choosing what your struggle should be, choose your hard. And yeah, people seem to really resonate with that message, because roller skating is hard. But yeah, as I say, it's really also difficult to know when it's you and when it's just a lack of experience. So I'm just going to pop these complex Tango wheels. So this is a large 63mm wheel. I'm just going to put those away again because I have tested those babies now, and now we're on the Sugrit Fames. So these ones are a bit firmer. They claim to be a 96A. I actually don't think they particularly perform as firmly as that. However, we shall skate on them and I will let you know. So on kind of dinging them on the floor, I can hear they are harder. We kind of joke that as you get a harder wheel, it sounds more like tap dancing. And something that we really strive to do in our roller dance class is to skate with quiet wheels. Obviously, that is harder as you get a harder wheel, a firmer wheel. But the reason we try and skate with quiet wheels is because it's going to protect your body for the long term. And you know, no one getting any younger here. And I found even when I was like 45, I'm 48 now, that your knees, the day after you've been using hard wheels, like hard wheels, it's really achy. It's not something that I particularly enjoy. So no, essentially that's kind of why I went off wheels, but I actually probably just need to change how I skate. Anyway, let's go. So let's put you back up here. Okay, got some tunes. Okay, so, all right, they're definitely more slippery. So I can feel as I'm pushing out to the sides, they start slipping sooner. And I'm rolling, I'm still rolling. So when I'm pushing, I'm really having to dig a lot more. Like things like transitions are fine. I mean, and when I'm still, all my wheels are on the floor and I can do a full spin with the wheels all on the floor. So you can obviously only do that in a hard wheel. So, oh yes. Oh, I'm back on the floor, hurrah. For some reason, like 63mm wheels, and they're not that much bigger, but they are bigger. I felt like I was, I don't know, like having to climb over something when I was doing toe spin. So I'm going to start with my downtown. This music's a bit slow, really. Very chilled downtown. And you probably can't hear my wheels, which is fine. Not sure how hard I'm working actually to keep them quiet. I definitely am noticing a little bit more clip clopping. They're just generally a little bit noisier on the floor. Doesn't feel terrible in my knees. Okay, so I would call things like downtown, zero, Hez. That's quite clip cloppy. You can't really help it being clip cloppy, but that feels, these are like vocabulary movements. It's like roller dance vocabulary. So same with dribbles or toe shuffles. I prefer to call them toe shuffles. I don't know what you call them. This is just a bit slow but then double pace is too fast. Oh, okay. That little slingshot, the pivot. My foot was like off. Woo! That's quite fun. It feels quite whippy. So obviously all these dance moves, I have toe plugs in my skates. If I had toe stops in them, I'd be tripping all over them right now. Let's see our little ballroom move. Oh. Yeah, feels fine. Feels fine. All right. Don't know why I put it off. Toe spin. I'm so hesitant to do it now. I can feel my body freezing up. Okay, it didn't feel too terrible. I don't know if I actually enjoyed it though. They're definitely slidier. Whoa. So with that dip, where I can normally like push into that edge, if my weight's not kind of fully over it, I feel like I'm definitely going to fall over. Yeah, it would just take more time to get used to, as everything does. Everything takes so much more time than we want it to get used to, but I am just kind of whipping through these different types of wheels so that you've got an idea of maybe how they feel different, even if it's to me and not you. This is no product placement, by the way. I'm just thirsty. Sorry, this is such a tune though. Let's go. All right. Gonna be here all blinking night if I don't get the move on, will I? Next. I was totally going to do 2 more sets, but we'll see. One is a joke set. Mostly because I talked about these in one of the lives. What time are we on? Oh, yeah, maybe we'll have time. Trying to get this done before this mix runs out. Okay. So next up, I've got Luminous hard wheels. These are 58 millimeters, one whole millimeter larger. If you're tuned in now and you're interested in roller skate wheels, generally gear, then I tend to do a lot of gear chats. I build roller skates. I've done live builds of roller skates too. Just not right now because I'm changing my wheels. And I also teach and coach, and I deliver tutorials about things that I hope people find helpful. So it's things that I know will shortcut your journey in roller skating so that you do not have to spend 10 years figuring something out. It might actually just take you just a few months if you apply the principles that I can help you with. So we have got a luminous light up wheel here. This one is a little bit firmer on paper, on the urethane. It claims to be 97A, and that is with the Suregrip Fame wheel is 96. However, as I said before, I think the Suregrip Fame wheel performs softer than a 96. So I think this one will feel a good bit firmer than a 96. And that is how, basically, the non-scientific way of figuring it out. I'm sure there is a scientific way, but I just not necessarily doing it. It's the comparison, trying to do the same movements in the same space by the same person to keep those variables as similar as possible. Yeah, I think obviously the thing that I can't account for is like muscle fatigue. It's just how it goes. Thinking also maybe I should have picked a faster mix. So absolute vibe this mix though. Suregrip Fame wheels pile. So these luminous hard wheels only come in a limited selection of colours, but because one of the colours is white glitter, you can basically dye them to whatever shade you like. And we have done. They're surprisingly straightforward to dye. Quite a fun process. If it's something you don't fancy doing, like message me and ask me. I'll do it for you. It's good fun. Okay. So, thinking something recently, when you are checking the wheel nut is tight, you need to just check it by hand and make sure you can't unscrew it. Because if you can, get new ones. The nylon thread, the lock nut has stopped working. And because I'm taking my wheels on and off, I just don't want it to happen right this very second and lose a wheel while I'm live. It's not a good look when I do know how to check all of those things. Fair enough if you don't know, but once you know, yeah. So we're on the luminous hard wheel now. And I'm specifically trying out the firmer wheels because I think these are the ones that people are quite hesitant around. And because we support a lot of people in the early part of their roller skate journey, this is also the kind of things that you might be trading up for the first time onto firmer wheels. And I know when I was first trading up, I thought, oh, a jump in durometer from like 78 to 98 is only 20 in the scale. It doesn't seem that much. But also, when the scale is not that big for wheels, like it does go from 0, where 0 is like jelly. So it goes from very soft to very hard. But as wheels, they need to be able to roll. So they've got to be able to hold their own shape. But 78 to basically the hardest one that I know is like 103, and the softest one is maybe only 74. So that's actually an enormous jump. Anyway, I definitely found out that it was indeed an enormous jump. Bit of a shock. So let's... Right, I've just put my foot down on the ground and I can instantly feel that it is more hard. Can't speak anymore. Okay, let's go. I mean, you'll see where I am, right? Ooh. So first test we did, can you do a full spin? Yep, without taking your wheels off the floor. No problem. So I'm making sure that I push the shoulder back and push the other one forward in order to get my full spin. And I'm not having to lift a heel or a toe at all. Oh, okay, I did a minor panic there. But yeah, when I did lift a heel and a toe, I did just keep going. I have been working on toe spins, heel toe spins and toe spins, but the balance point is slightly different on them. So I found when I stop focusing on just one type and I try and do both, they both suffer. Oh man. Just make sure when you do land, you do put your feet down. Whoa. So when I put my foot down, it's literally my heels keep sliding. Just gonna have to remove a hair from my top. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so as I thought, they are quite a bit firmer than the Sure Grip Fame wheels. Like the same amount of pressure is not really stopping me with a T-stop. Yeah. So if I want to stop with a T-stop, I've got to like push down a lot harder. So let's see if we can do our ballroom step. Push back. So it's just really, really hard work because I'm having to also control like the amount of slip. Again, I'm not used to this amount of slip. I'm used to a much softer wheel than this, but I could probably get used to it, but I will see how my knees feel tomorrow and report back. So bit of downtown was where we were at now. Like this is a very slow mix. Oh, it's so noisy. I'm kind of almost trying to slide my feet across the floor without really lifting. I am trying to put them down quietly, I promise. So, quiet wheels will give you more longevity in your roller skating. It will protect your body. I mean, they're enjoyably bright. I don't like the clumping. So relieved I've done my spinning. Sorry, I'm currently obsessed with this move. I don't know why I'm apologising for that either. Again, when I'm pushing my foot, it's really noisy. So a feature of firmer wheels is they make more noise on the floor. And if you think about a skateboarder outside, you can usually hear them coming. They'll like click, click, click down the street. I can feel my core braced so tight because it's like controlling, making sure I don't slip out too far. And that is not something that I notice in softer wheels, but especially stopping sideways. I mean, you know, there's like some little moves that you could just do forever. I feel this is, once you have this in your body and your muscle memory, this is like walking. I think this music is literally just like either a bit too slow or a bit too quick and you do it at double speed. So I think I could get used to these wheels. What I don't think I would do is wear them somewhere new. I don't think I would use these for the first time somewhere that I didn't know quite well. I think that would make me quite anxious. But because the studio is a smaller space, I know I can't get up too much speed. And like I say, I know the floor really well. I think I could be pretty happy here on light up wheels. Also, light up wheels just for some reason bring me a lot of joy. Maybe that speaks to inner child needing light up wheels and not having access to those kinds of resources. So now I kind of can give that to myself because light up wheels are some of my favorite wheels. And there are a lot of copies out there for the light up wheels. But I think Luminous are just the tried and trusted ones. I have seen some of the copies. They're just not the same. They might look really pretty, but honestly, if they are too good to be true, they probably are too good to be true. But you know what? If you don't know, it's fine. You can't know what you don't know. So, as I do say, right. So I've tried on 4 different sets of wheels this evening. There was one more set that I was going to do. Do you know what? They're here. I might as well just complete my mission of what I was going to do. The last type of wheel is this clay wheel. They are a Fomac wheel, which I actually find quite terrifying. They're quite heavy because they are made out of very different compound. There is no hub in them. They're just a molded wheel. There's no give in them at all, like none. But before you use these wheels, you've got to really be okay with the idea that you're going to go sideways. They're a very sidewaysy wheel. So I think this shall be live streamed. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? I can fall over. Do you know what? If I do fall over and really hurt myself, you can hopefully send some help. That's how it's going to be. But otherwise, definitely notice that the middle of this wheel is slimmer because we're not having to fit in the magnetic spacer like you do with a luminous wheel. So your luminous wheels come with a magnetic spacer in between the bearings, and that means they often take up more room on the axle, to the point where some axles won't support a luminous wheel or a light up wheel. So I'm going to just try on the last wheel now. Sometimes I wonder, why do I do this to myself? And then I think, because I think it's quite fun. And maybe if I think it's fun, you might as well. So these are heavy, okay? They are a black Fomac wheel, the Fomac Premier. There are a number of different Fomac wheels, and to be perfectly honest, I refuse to put them all in the wheel library because I know, like, you just want to give them a try, so that if you've never tried a clay wheel, you can give that a bit of a try. But if you want to feel that kind of slip, then you're probably just going to have a go anyway, because having them in the wheel library isn't going to be, and using them here, it's not going to be the same as using them at like your kind of home skate space. These wheels, all of these wheels, are really designed to be used on smooth indoor places. They are not really for outdoors unless your outdoors is super smooth. So if you are Skate Love Barcelona, on the smooth roller rink, or somewhere that has got smooth polished concrete, then absolutely enjoy. Otherwise, I think you're going to just have a pretty miserable experience, and nobody wants that. There we go. My fingers have stopped working now. Okay. Yep. Right, so quiet feet is going to be very hard in these wheels because these are clay wheels. So it is going to be very hard, as I say, to be quiet. The harder the wheel, oh, good grief. Tell me, you must have heard that. It was like dropping bricks. Am I slightly worried? Yes. I think it's healthy to have a level of respect for very, very hard wheels. Okay. Likelihood of me falling over, quite high. As I say, I'm not actually a massive fan, even though I've been skating quite a long time. I started as an adult, but I've now been skating for a bit over 15 years, but not close enough to 20 to say almost 20. I'm not a really big fan of very hard wheels because I just find my knees really ache the next day, and just don't care enough. And also, I actually do feel a little bit unsafe when I'm using them because I haven't spent enough time using them for my body to fully understand how the movement is different. And I know they're really slippery, and anytime I've slid, it's not ended well. So my body is like holding on to those memories, and I know that is a little bit of healing work that I need to do. But I share that with you because maybe, God, they're so hard. That's something that you might recognize in yourself as well, that when you go somewhere different or you try something different and you think, wow, this doesn't feel good, and you kind of have that moment of really tensing up, that actually that's because you don't feel fully safe. I'm going to put this down before I get up. Don't mind me. Okay. Right. So I can barely push in these because if I extend my foot too far away from my body, I feel like my whole body is just going to literally fall over. This is as close to feeling like a complete beginner on roller skates again as I feel I can remember. That super slippery feeling. Okay, so the first thing that I did, can I do a full 360 with all wheels on the floor? I mean, I've managed it in wheels that were not this hard. And when we're talking about durometer rating for clay wheels, like super hard, we've got on our scale of durometer, okay, if knee height is grip, so 78, let's say, hip height is middle, like 85, 88. Shoulder height is like hard, so 98. Then we've got 103, which is at head level. Fomac wheels are up here somewhere. They are literally off the chart, how hard they are. So little effort to do a full spin. All right, I literally just pushed my elbow back a tiny bit and moved my shoulder back. I don't know if I dare do a heel toe spin. If I hit like a tiny crack on the floor, if the floor is not totally clean, I'm going over. I can't do it. My body won't let me lift a heel and a toe. Okay, I'm trying. So I'm just gonna have to build back up. Oh, laces. Okay, that's clearly here to rescue me in some way. Okay, let's fasten these bad boys back in. Oh no, she's still not done it. Last set of wheels and forgotten how to do shoelaces. Okay. Oh, there's definitely no stopping there. Just skated fully into the wheels. They're so heavy. There's no stopping. Oh my God. My foot's literally caving under itself. I think they're not designed to go backwards. I can't push off that edge. My foot just collapses and slips. It's doing this. That's insane. So they are designed for sliding sideways, and my gosh, I am not that confident. I need like the full gear. Thank you. I literally didn't stop. I don't know if you heard that. I banged into the locker. Oh, so that would be a power slide if I am brave enough. I don't know if I am. Also, I can't do the splits. So, wow, okay. Terrifying. Oh, that mix has ended. Don't end. Okay. Right, let's put on Let's put on a different mix. It's not this one. Let's go for some relaxation. Lovely, lovely. Okay, I'm like just going to spend a little bit of longer in these because I feel I need to allow time for my nervous system to regulate again. So I regulate by using music that makes me feel calm so that I can actually bend my knees and not think about, you can't not think about it when they're this noisy. Like, but notice how I'm adding pauses back in just to give myself little breaks. Oh. Okay. Should we see if we can do a downtown? 6, 7, and I don't think you would do a downtown in these. Like, they're just not designed for it. They're heavy and clunky and really hard to be like precise with. And when I'm like I say, when I'm pushing weight into the edge of the wheel, especially this edge, so I'm coming back around to do this, and I lean on that edge a lot, the whole skate is just going like this. So they are designed, I feel, for quite flat foot, but also quite low to the ground. I feel a lot of Fomac wheels, as I've said in other videos, are designed to be used with a type of plate called a low ride plate made by Suregrip. And the low ride plate is like, as it sounds, low ride. It's really low to the ground. So you have a lower center of gravity. And part of that is how high, like how much clearance above the wheels you've got. So if I had less, my whole body would be lower. And then your weight is kind of spread more. Whoa. Also, if you look at the Cali Slide Festival, there are people that will only practice doing a style of skating for years. And that's not to say we can't enjoy them. I'm just not enjoying them as much as my other soft wheels. Oh. I mean, you'd know exactly where I was because they are so noisy. But if loads of people were wearing these in class, I feel like all I'd hear is stomping. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can do my like dance mat drill warm up. Boom. I am choosing to do it at slow speed. And across, behind. Then we go to step. Ooh. Step, step. Across, behind. Slide. I mean, sliding in these fine. Open diagonal, cross diagonal, twist. Not having to lift my toes at all. Toe, heel, heel, toe. Across, other side. Ball change. Oh. I mean, if anything, it's indicating to me which foot I may be over reliant on. Like I said, I'm not I'm not breathing properly. I can feel how tense I am. Let's see if we can keep going. Oof. I'm going to say it probably doesn't help that whole of this room is on a very slight slope. Whoa, my foot shot across then. So before this week, I've actually been wearing 98A Famous wheels, and I thought I could get on with these. These are not the same. Right, I'm going to have to stop because it is making me feel extremely anxious. Okay. I appreciate you being here this evening. I'm going to change my wheels back one last time, and I'm going to put my literal favourite wheels. Complex Ghibli for the win. And there's a reason I like that wheel. To be fair, having dealt with this experience, and I did spend a bit of time as well using the firmer Complex Ghibli wheels, which were 93A. They're a mint green colour. And I found that they're like in the middle of their hardness range. And I actually really, really like those. But I know if I'm going somewhere I've not been before, I will not wear a wheel that's firmer than that because my nervous system can't handle it. That's not me telling myself that. That's me knowing myself. So let us remove these wheels. Notice how I went down before I brought my laptop with me. I feel that's the smart move. So I'll stay here. I'm going to put my Ghibli wheels back on that I absolutely love. I'm going to have one last little hootle. I feel like that's a very northern British word, but maybe it's not. A pootle around the studio so that I can feel very calm before I leave. I'm coming back tomorrow for a bunch more classes. It's so heavy. Oh, anyway, what we got here, right? So I'm going to put back in here. These are my Luminous hard wheels. There's there. I've got my Sure Grip Fame wheels, 96A, which, as I say, don't quite feel as firm as a 96 because the Luminous ones are only a 97 and they felt a good bit firmer than these. I also tried the Tango wheels, which are a larger version than the Complex Ghibli wheels, and they felt really weird to dance in, but not terrible, just it was different. And what do I say? It's a different experience. Every wheel gives you a different experience. Possibly not the one that you were always expecting, but as I say, they don't make you a better skater by making things necessarily easier. They make you a better skater by giving you a different set of experiences. So if you can control yourself under that set of experiences, then great. You've achieved maybe what you set out to achieve. But, you know, everybody's goals are different. It's not up to me to tell people what their goals should or should not be. That's literally none of my business. However, if you are struggling with the idea that you are maybe what is my goal in roller skating? I'm not saying you have to have a goal, but you know, if you could picture yourself in 6 months' time, at the end, this time next year even, what would you be doing? Where are you? Just shut your eyes for a minute, as long as you're not wearing roller skates. Think about where you are. What are you doing? And then I like to think about it through the lens of each sense. So what can you hear? Are you inside? Are you outside? What is the temperature on your skin? Are you with other people? Are you by yourself? And just start to create that picture for yourself of what would be for you your kind of ultimate joy. You don't have to share it with anybody else, but it gives you maybe a goal of something, or just a direction, just something to start kind of working towards. And then what's going to help you get there? You know, if your dream is to do skating down hills and you just want to skate down hills outdoors at sunset, then doing squirrely little roller dance moves might not be something that you particularly want to spend a lot of time doing, and that is okay. But maybe you want to be able to do a bit of everything, and just you're still sampling, you're exploring, you're maybe not fully certain of which direction and why you don't need to pick a direction. That's not at all what I'm saying. But if you've got a goal in mind or a dream for yourself, then it's kind of shorter term. You can think, well, what do I want to do now? Oh, thank goodness those Fomax are back in the bag safely for you. So yeah, I think just something to think about. Oh, my favourites. Oh, my babies. Right, I'm no doubt going to feel totally stuck to the floor now after that, but I'm expecting to just feel grounded. I tell you what, I don't like taking my skates on and off this much. So yeah, that's your lot for wheel changes. I think if I do this again, I definitely need to get the drill sorted so that I can be like, zoop, zoop, pit stop. Ooh. Very also grateful for the back pull on my Moxie Jack boot, because that is helping me to pull the skate on and off. Okay. And we're in. Oh, delightful. We stand up and do not instantly feel the wheels go whoosh sideways. Okay. There's no way that I would teach a class in Fomac wheels. I just don't think I'd do it. So these are some of the packets of wheels from our wheel library. I'm just going to actually go and pop them away. Our wheel library in the studio lives in that locker over there. Oh, yes. Hello, Ghibli wheels. Amazing. As you can probably see, there's about 25, maybe 30 packs of wheels in there. What is this? Something that's been crushed. Don't know what it is, but it's going in the bin. Oh, yes. So these are just wheels that I'm used to. Medium noisy, But because I know them really well, I can fully relax on them. Don't feel stressed. It's quite a fun move, isn't it? Okay, lovely. Could take my time in this, but actually, I think it's time for me to wrap up because I need to whip by the supermarket before I go home. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope you've enjoyed my adventures in testing out roller dance wheels. I'd love to know what you think. If you didn't watch this live, no problem. Feel free to drop a comment below. If there's anything else that you would like me to try, also let me know in the comments. And if you think, oh, okay, I quite fancy some of those wheels and you're not sure where to get them from, the Skate Sanctuary, we ship all over the world, team. We ship all over the world. And we will look after you, is all I'm saying. If you are an international customer and you got tariffs and customs and all them joyful things, we have those in the UK too. So if it is something like that that is an issue for you, then drop us a message. As I say, we will look after you. Our suppliers all over the world look after us. So I kind of feel it's the very least that we can do to pass that on. My name is Mel. I am the founder of this space, the Skate Sanctuary, available to yap at you wherever you are. Simply tune in and I will probably be here in some way, shape or form. I would massively appreciate if you press subscribe to my channel. It would really, really help me understand that I am helping people, the people that I want to help. Our space here and the business, we are a social enterprise. That means we are a not-for-profit company, and initiatives like the Wheel Library that I have been using those wheels tonight, that is an investment that we have chosen to make as a business. I did not realize that, I mean, I suppose why would I not realize, but there isn't another wheel library, as far as I'm aware, anywhere else in the world, because it's hella expensive. So, you know, when people buy skates, buy wheels from us, it helps us to offer affordable spaces for people to come and actually try roller skating. Like, if you think about all the barriers to get started, it's so expensive. You've got to find the right space, you've got to find the equipment to do it with, and then it's really scary and you end up having like not a great first experience. So we wanted to try and remove as many of those barriers as possible, and just make a space that people could come and try. That's all. If you're curious, just come and try. That's all I'm interested in. So that's how we ended up with this space. People sometimes don't resonate with having a smaller space, but honestly, for me, it's big enough. And it means that the other focus of what we do here as a business, which is all about connecting people and trying to just make the world less of a lonely place. And I massively appreciate people who reach out through the screen. Like, I've connected with someone as a skate builder in Australia this week. Like, my mind is literally blown. A skate builder, he's got 45 years experience, and he was like commenting on my videos. I mean, what? So it's just so incredibly useful, and I'm mad grateful for this community, and hopefully what we can achieve together, because I think that you can transform your life through roller skating. Like, I truly, truly believe that, because roller skating helps you realize that you can take up more space. I mean, I've had a load of different wheels on. I've had skates on tonight, and I know I'm used to it now. But if you think about when people take their skates off for the first few times, we have the privilege of watching people. They kind of walk taller. Sorry, I'm just going to like close up the building now because it's time. So they're like walking taller, and they are just feeling. That's my fire escape. What? Light's going to adjust. There we go. Yeah, they're walking taller because they feel their body and their eye level was just here, and now it's kind of come back down to here. So their body's going, oh, well, how does that feel that my eye level has come back down? So they kind of compensate by like lengthening your neck and so on and so on. And actually, it makes the whole body taller. I think that's amazing. What an incredible thing that roller skating can give people. And I just think that more people should be able to experience that, and they can't. But if we can choose to invest in the skate ecosystem, I need to plug in my drill. Been building a few pairs of skates this week, so got to put the old battery pack on charge. Yeah, if we can support the skate ecosystem, and I know that's not possible for everybody because some people are shopping based on price alone and don't necessarily recognize the value or the expertise that very specialist skate shops around the world, and there are not many of us, can bring. And that's not a judgment either, it's a comment. Like, I'm not bothered where people buy their skates from. It's just always a privilege when people allow us into a part of their skate journey. Indifferent is not the right word. I want people to have the best experience possible, and that is only really possible when you are using skates that are at like half decent quality. If you're using trashy skates, you're not going to have a great experience. However, you can't know what you don't know. Therefore, you buy what you like, you wear what you like. And I've had conversations with a few different people this week about buying roller skates. And obviously, we are a skate shop. So you can see in the corner, in our cupboard, we've got like loads of beautiful light up skates. And I totally get that we may seem like a really elite skate shop because we're like, oh no, don't buy those, they're really rubbish. But I also know we're trying to feed back into the skate economy and support skater-owned brands and businesses, including other small businesses. And there are so many of them, and not massive corporations that have just jumped on the roller skate bandwagon in the last few years. Excuse me. And there are many of those companies, but people wouldn't know because they're like, oh, that design's really cute, I'm just going to buy those. So literally no judgment. However, I have to draw a line when somebody messages and goes, hey, the Skate Sanctuary, hi Mel, or Emily or Millie or whoever's here. I want to buy these skates, and then they send us a picture and it's a brand that we don't sell or stock. Okay, done. They're like, I'd like these. And we go, oh, we actually don't offer those. So you're going to have to get them from another skate shop. In fact, the link that you sent me is a link to another skate shop. It's awesome. You've picked another small business. Get them from there. Oh, no, but I want your opinion. And I'm like, I have not got an opinion because we do not sell those skates. So it would almost be unethical of me to comment on these skates when I haven't seen them, I haven't skated in them, and I don't sell them. Like, the reason we don't sell some skates is because we have seen them, we have skated in them, and we have rejected them. But we have not done that with all skates, because I've made a gross generalization of, well, I have tried skates at this price point and this price point. I recognize these ones to be built in a very similar way, and a lot of the components look the same. Therefore, I'm going to exclude these from our catalogue because I just don't want to offer them to our customers and clients. So that's my choice. And it's something that, as a skate shop, we chat about fairly regularly when we're like, should we offer these? Should we sell these? And we're like, no, because, you know, sometimes brands will bring out roller skates in like a range of different colors, and people don't always understand that as a skate shop, we are then stocking or trying to keep in stock maybe 30 to 40 pairs of skates so that we can have one in every like size and color combo. It's too much for a business like ours. We can't do it. We specialize way more on the custom end. So we will fit you with a fitting boot, you pick your color, and then we'll like order everything in, and then we'll build it together. So that whole process is not your first roller skate. It just isn't, because your first roller skate will be one that you can just go and enjoy, get it out of the box, go have a nice time, scuff it up, figure out what you enjoy, and then come and have a chat with us later. So very much when we were in the Corn Exchange, I used to say to people, we're not your like first pair of roller skate shop. Like, we could be if you want our options, but if you don't, if you want something different, like this person that kept on messaging me this week with, well, what about this option? I was like, those have been discontinued. I don't think you can get those from anywhere. And they went, I found them in France. Like, we're in the UK. So I was like, okay. And they said, I mean, can you advise me on size? And I was like, literally, you're not my customer right now. So I'm really sorry. You've got to make those decisions. And if you buy it from France and it doesn't fit, then that you're kind of stuck with it. And I'm like, I'm really sorry. I don't want to be annoying about that, because if I give you any information about size and it fits differently for you, because I've literally never met you, you're going to come back and blame me. And how awful that we live in a society where kind of that's what I'm thinking. Yet on the other side, we get to meet and chat to and support people who just want to experience the joy of roller skating and skating with other people. And tonight in our roller dance class, we had a little moment where we were working with partners, and it's always like, we're a bit British, and the idea that you're going to hold hands with someone that you don't know very well is a bit like, ooh. I don't know if other countries feel like that as well. I feel like that's quite a British response to go like, oh, I don't really know you. So everyone's like this, not really going to hold you. But it was fine. But we said, you know, until everyone actually feels comfortable with the base steps and gets to know each other, and we kind of hang out and spend a bit more time together, we're not going to be doing fancy partner work. It's just not going to happen. And when we see that on social media, when we see people doing like cool partner things and making it look so slick and smooth, they probably skated together a lot. I mean, think about couples and pairs partner skating on ice skating. They've trained together for years. So I think there's a weird mismatch in our expectations. But anyway, so the final thing is for me about visibility. Like, I want people over 40, over 45, over 50 to go and enjoy their childhood thing, their roller skate dreams. If you have got any kind of curiosity about roller skating and you don't fit into youth in whatever way, we're young at heart always. And while your body is moving, like keep it moving in whatever way works for you. It doesn't have to be roller skating. We're just here doing this because it works for me. But if it doesn't work for you, then find something that does, whether it's like paddle boarding or swimming or yoga or whatever it is. But I would encourage you just to find a movement practice. Roller skating works for me because it's about strength. There is conditioning there. There is some stretching there. And it's fun. Like I really enjoy it. And obviously 15 years later, I have quit my teaching job and I'm now a small business owner. But that does not mean to say that I think that everyone in the world should do this. I would love to make it possible for people to try if they choose to, not because I'm forcing them or someone else is forcing them. Like it's got to be your own idea. When it's really risky, it just has to be something that you come to on your own, right? So I had a point, and the point has gone. It's like, no, the point has disappeared. So yeah, I feel like without representation of people in our age group, we are not going to see more. And so social media is something that I didn't grow up with because I'm Gen X and I didn't grow up with social media. It's something that I had to learn how to use later. Current millennials didn't necessarily grow up with it either, but you would have got it younger. And obviously Gen Z will have grown up with social media. So the idea that there's like massive populations and generations of people who are or are not represented. But the other big difference that I see, I feel, in social media use and representation is I don't really care. Like the nicest will in the world, I don't feel like I post for myself as a vanity metric. Maybe I do, maybe that everybody does to some degree. Feel free to call me out on that if that's something that you disagree with. But I feel my purpose for posting is much more about, I want to share this with you. I want to try and help you demystify this thing, or how difficult it is at the beginning when you're starting out, and actually how normal that is when you're starting to roller skate as an adult. Where the younger people that I meet, if we talk about skate goals and like what is it that you want to do, a lot of them will say, I want to be a content creator, I want to be a sponsored skater or something like that. They're like, basically, I want to be famous. Whereas I don't really care. I'm like, yeah, it's not the be all and end all, but I understand how my mind has been changed through my life experiences. And like, I'm, a couple of years away from 50. So I don't really care anymore. And I speak to other people around my age and they're the same. They're like, no, I also don't really care. I skate to feel good, to connect with my friends, to stay physically well, and because I find my brain like decompresses while I'm like rolling around and like flopping around. It just feels nice. And that's all I'm bothered about. I'm not really bothered about the rest of it. So I think there is this big, I'm really sorry, the light is like changing on the screen. The difference in representation is perhaps also due to differences in age and, people just be doing people things. So whatever outlook and values you have, that's kind of going to be reflected through the hobby and maybe who you follow. And yeah, finding the representation for skaters over 40, over 50, over 60 is really, really challenging, which is why I did a series, like a little podcast series called Skaters Stories. How hard that is to say quickly. It is on YouTube, and a good portion of the skaters in it are over 40, but not all of them by any means. So I am repeating that series. I'm going to record another series, and I've got a few people lined up already. And again, they're not all going to be over 40, over 50, over 60, but I'm really interested in finding out, why do people roller skate? Like, it's so hard at the beginning. And I know why I do it, but I'm interested to know why other people have found this hobby, have found this activity, and they're still doing it. They've like stuck with it. They've gone through that early struggle phase and they're like still struggling, but it's now a different level of struggle. And they're enjoying that struggle. There is a satisfaction to it. Why? I just don't know why. I'm so curious. So if that's something you think I would actually be quite interested to do, then I think I did a post on it in the community chat yesterday. But if I didn't, I will put something in the description. Drop me a message, email us. It is hello@theskatesanctuary.co.uk, as in our business name, The Skate Sanctuary. Whoa, which way am I pointing? That way. Okay, so it's hello@theskatesanctuary.co.uk, and just put in the title Skaters Stories Series 2 or something like that, or like FAO Mel, you told me to email you, so here I am emailing you. Like, that would be amazing, and that would be truly the power of social media. And the point of it, like, the point of it is to connect people, surely. So if this reaches like one person and you think, do you know what? Yes, I could share my story. I just think that would be awesome, because we live in our own bodies. We live in our own bubble. We live in our own life. And you have no idea how inspiring you are to the people around you. You've just got no clue. And I think you should know how incredible and inspiring and amazing you are, even if you think like, I've done nothing, I'm just this, I've just this, I've just this. It's still worth celebrating. You're like, you've made it round the sun, however many times you've made it round the sun. And I just think like aging is such a privilege, and choosing to lean into the gifts that we have, the passions that we have, and showing the younger generations that there is a path forward. It doesn't necessarily look like content creation and YouTube and sponsorship all the time. It could do maybe, but perhaps not for the reasons that you think. Like, though, you don't need to be the best at something. And I think that setting yourself up for perfection is a really big thing that people need to unlearn. And so with that, it is time to go, because yet again, I'm going to miss the supermarket. Never mind. Okay. It's been a joy. I appreciate you joining me this evening for a bit of an interesting live roll around the studio on various wheels. If this is something that you felt, quite enjoyed that, let me know, and maybe we'll do it again sometime. All right, take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, evening, wherever it is that you are viewing from. Take care.